Jason, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Keith. I really appreciate it. Really happy to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited to talk about TireTutor because it's a company that is disrupting an industry that is massive. I mean, I think the last number I saw was like a $200 billion industry,
Yeah, yeah.
yet vastly underserved, right? It's an industry that has barely been touched in the terms of a digital world of e-commerce. So talk about TireTutor and what you guys are doing.
Yeah, thanks for asking. So yeah, at TireTutor, we're digitizing the automotive tire and maintenance industry, and we're bringing local independent tire dealers and mechanics online, empowering their e-commerce for them. And so the first product that we built is a marketplace site that connects consumers with the best deals on tires from local tire dealers. So really similar to what you see for other marketplace sites with in spaces like travel, for hotels or flights or even cars, but we're doing this for tires and vehicle service and repair now.
Okay, so as a consumer, I love to drive my car. I like cars, but I don't know anything about tires, right? So what should I care about? And how does this, help me? Because I don't know what I'm buying. I don't know what price I should be looking for. Like, what's, the installation. It's not like simple of just having tires shipped to my house and I'm going to bring them to someplace, there's the balancing. So there's a lot involved with buying tires. So how does this help me?
Yeah, absolutely. So we designed TireTutor to make it easy for consumers to find the best tires to purchase for their car, and that's why we call the company TireTutor, right? So we're doing the work for you basically. And so you want to purchase a set of tires that meet your driving style and your driving needs. And so what we do with TireTutor is we look at a few components when you do a search on TireTutor. We're looking at the tire quality, we're looking at the price, we're looking at how close the shop is to you, right? We're looking at the quality of the actual shop when it comes to installation. We're factoring all this in to say, okay, we think these are the tires you should buy from this local store, right? Making that process easier for consumers.
And that's so important because to that point, I'm like, I just want to know what to buy because I'm not the expert and I'm not going to be able to go through every nook and cranny of specs. So, but what I love about your story and what you're doing with TireTutor is your background. So this isn't you sitting around a conference room at Sloan being like, what industry needs to be disrupted? You have a history in this industry, so it makes a lot of sense why you're doing it. So share your background story and how you got here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for asking. So, yeah, I definitely was not sitting around Sloan and thinking about which industry to disrupt at all. So I grew up in the automotive industry. So I've been in the automotive industry for over 20 years at this point. My father has been in the automotive industry his entire life. He's still in the industry. He still works in the dealership today, and he's 73. And so my father ran a car dealership when I was a kid. And so my dad likes to joke that I've been in the industry since I was 5 years old. But the truth is, I started selling cars when I was 15 years old before I had my driver's license. And then was selling cars also while I was an undergrad at the University of Florida Gators. And while I was there, actually, I came up with the idea to launch an e-commerce site for wheels, tires, and custom car accessories. And the idea really came to me because my father used to have this saying, and he was really strict about this. He would say, like wheels and tires make a car. And he was like really fanatical about keeping your wheels and tires in really good shape and really clean, etc. And so that kind of resonated with me. And I had to buy my first set of tires for my car when I was an undergrad. And I totally changed the kind of tires that I put on the car, and it made a huge difference in the performance of the vehicle. And it was at that age, I was 17 at the time, that I was like, oh, wow, like tires really matter. My dad was right. And started researching more about tires, and I launched this e-commerce site. So we had an e-commerce site doing wheels, tires, and custom car accessories from 2002 to like around 2005. And that was my first startup. But yeah, so after that, I went to go work for two other tire manufacturers, Bridgestone, which is the world's largest tire company. And then I also went to go work for another tire company called Hankook Tire. And when I was at Hankook Tire, I was responsible for sales and distribution for the company for the northeast of the country. And I was supporting the local tire dealers that were selling our tires. And what I realized at the time is that there was a problem on both the demand side and the supply side of the industry. So on the demand side, consumers really, like you were saying before, don't know how to shop for tires. Like it's a really opaque shopping process, right? And there's a lot of information asymmetry. So I realized there was that problem on the consumer side. And then on the dealer side, the dealers did not know how to compete in e-commerce. They didn't know how to compete with mass merchants like Walmart or Amazon, et cetera. And they were kind of begging for help. And so came up with this idea in 2010 to build TireTutor when I was at Hankook Tire. Really waited for the right time to launch it. But the idea is to make it easier for consumers to shop for tires while supporting local independent tire dealers and mechanics and help to digitize them.
And there's a lot to it as far as the technology, the platform. So talk about kind of what goes behind to actually make all this happen.
Yeah, there is a lot to it actually. And so if you look at the market, there are about 60,000 different tire SKUs in the market today, approximately. So lots of different kinds of tires out there right now. And that's part of what makes it hard for consumers to choose which tires to purchase. And so one of the things that we do is we make it easy for consumers to choose which tires they should buy for their vehicles. But we also, with our software, we make it easy for dealers to show their inventory online. So because tires are a petroleum-based product and the prices of tires and the availability of tires fluctuate all the time, it's hard for dealers, local independent dealers, to advertise online the tires that they have at the correct prices. So our software powers that for them, so they always have the correct inventory online at the right market prices. And without our software, what we saw was that about 70% of tire dealers did not have their tire inventory and pricing online. So we're fixing that for them.
So what's the current, stage of the business? Like where are you at? Like the team, growth, plans ahead, whatever you can share.
Yeah, so we're wicked excited about what we're doing and the growth we've seen so far and what's to come. So we're a seed stage company at this point. We have about 5 full-time employees right now, and over 10 people involved in the project overall. We bootstrapped the company for the first 2 years. We raised our first round of institutional capital earlier in the year, and we're continuing to grow. And we're focused right now largely on the greater Boston / New England market, and we'll look to expand as we grow the organization and dial in the product market fit.
As far as hiring, so what are your plans there?
Yeah, so we're always looking for great people, and you do not have to be interested in tires or cars at all. So that's not a prerequisite whatsoever. We have a really diverse team of people within the company, but we're looking for somebody to be head of engineering, technical co-founder, and build out and lead their own engineering and product team. That's what we're looking for right now. It's our key hire at this point. And so what we want is somebody who really employs and believes in this idea of servant leadership, right? And somebody who wants to build a team where you can teach others and learn from others at the same time. And we're really mission focused. We're really serious about digitizing local independent businesses and helping these local independent businesses compete with the mass merchants of the world and keeping these local independent businesses in business, right? So one of the things we talk about a lot is we're trying to help the independent tire dealers and repair shops not see the same fate that the independent local bookstores saw. And that's what we're trying to prevent. And so we want somebody who wants to build out an engineering team, who has some experience in e-commerce, but who's also passionate about trying to support local businesses. But any background in tires or automotive is not required at all.
So why is now the ideal time to join the TireTutor team?
Yeah, great question. So right now is definitely the ideal time. So we've launched a product that is getting traction in the market, and right now we're really looking to refine that product and continue to build out this vertical SaaS business that we are building. Right. So we have this marketplace website that's kind of the hub of our vertical SaaS business, but it's so much more than just the marketplace site. We provide software for our tire dealers and mechanics to digitize their businesses and do e-commerce, right? And the marketplace software is just the hub in the center of that. So we need somebody who can really look at this as a holistic picture and say, okay, how do our products come together? How do we build something that really provides e-commerce for our local businesses? And so, we're at this point right now where we know that there's a lot of demand for what we're doing from the consumer side and the dealer side. And we need somebody who's really a rock star and who's excited to take it to the next level.
Well, if you are interested in exploring opportunities at TireTutor, you can check out their openings on VentureFizz. Go to venturefizz.com/TireTutor, and you'll see their listings there. Jason, thanks so much for taking the time to walk us through all the great things you guys are up to at TireTutor.
Really appreciate it, Keith. This has been great. Thanks for the time.
I hope you enjoyed this video. At VentureFizz, our mission is to share the stories of companies, their people, and culture. So if you're interested in more interviews with founders and executives in the tech industry, make sure you click on the subscribe button. Thanks so much for watching.